Hello and welcome to the Every Other Saturday podcast for a brand new episode this week where Rangers are back after the international break, and just in Rangers fashion, we are disappointed after the international break. We are really poor performance up at Aberdeen. I think going by the games before the international break, we're obviously in good spirits. Aberdeen had just been absolutely thrashed, and you knew it was kind of coming our way. After that, they were going to try their hardest to go and take some off us, which they did. And we didn't do anything to combat it, really. We were really poor on the day. We know what we were expecting at Aberdeen, and we never seem to be able to turn up and face the task at hand. So we'll talk about what's a missed opportunity at Pittodrie, 100%, and then obviously go into the game on Thursday, because the games are coming thick and fast now into Europa League, and then obviously back to the league next week. So we play for, and we need to get back to putting a good performance in Thursday. That win also secures us European football after Christmas. So it's a big game in its own right. But we'll talk about that towards the end of the episode. If you could like, subscribe, and share, always very much appreciated. And we'll go on to this absolute gash game at Pittodrie. I think obviously if you come back after an international break, it's not going to be as free flowing as I think you would like at times. But I think with the amount of players that were left behind and working in the training centre, we could have expected a lot more for this game.
Yeah, a lot more than what we got, 100%. Because as you said, was gash what we got there. Aye, just a massive opportunity, as we've said there, and we've just blown it. It was a chance to put some more pressure on, get more points on the board. But obviously, we knew Aberdeen were going to give us the game of the season, so yeah, obviously expected that.
I know that's a disappointing thing. Obviously, Saturday you're watching the scores come in, you think, right, this is a huge opportunity for us to really go and put a bit of pressure on, show what kind of team we are. If we turned a corner under Philippe Clement, or are we still kind of going to be stuck in our own ways a bit? And I feel like we were yesterday. I think that wasn't anything that we've saw for Clement so far. I think that is down to
Players.
the players again. You can't, every time you go through a patch of bad form or you don't get the result you want, it'll always boil down to the players that have disappointed and not put enough into games for beforehand. And the issues are coming back up. Obviously, in this game, you've got Borna Barisic on the left hand side who looks lost. He's absolutely shite. I cannot watch that guy play for us. Even in the games that we've won under Clement so far, he's been one of the weakest links in that team. And that is an area of the pitch. I mean, if Yilmaz isn't going to get a game, fair enough, get rid of him. Do John Sterling. I mean, what's the point even signing the guy if you're never going to give him a chance either? Barisic is the one I'm looking at. He has to be shot out of this team.
I mean, I'd have shot him out the team a long time ago. We all know that. But he has to go. He has to go. Honestly, I'm serious now. If he signs a new deal, I'm out the window. I'm throwing myself out the window. I cannot watch that boy play for the team. I cannot watch him at all. I don't think Yilmaz is really going to get a chance. I think Yilmaz is probably going to get shafted out. And Sterling, I obviously say give him an opportunity, but if you kind of Bill signing, I don't really think maybe the manager will really want him. It's an area, like several areas of the team, where I do feel in January we have to be bringing somebody in.
Nah, left back's one I'm really looking at now, and Barisic can't keep putting in absolute stinkers every game
No,
and keep getting selected. So I would like to see some change in that area. Obviously, Thursday's game would kind of suggest he's probably going to play that, but definitely for the game of the weekend, I want some change in that area of the pitch. But looking at the team that obviously started the game, you've got Butland in goals again, saved us a couple of times with some good saves in the first half. That was about it though. Aberdeen really in the first 20-25 minutes, they scored obviously the goal and had a couple of chances, and that was it. They didn't really do anything else in the game. I think they had 5 shots the full 90 minutes. We had 23. We had 11 on target. So you say we didn't have the chances would be lying. We had plenty of chances. I mean, straight at the goalie every time. When you think about the Balogun header in the first half, nobody there to follow up the rebound. The Tom Lawrence one, which obviously forces a good save from Kellerus in the Aberdeen goal. Cantwell's not there to obviously put it by as well. The one that Danilo kind of hit straight at the goalie as well. I mean, there's chances in this game that we could have went, and if we have a more clinical side up front, we win that game. That's where the issues are always coming from. We're not scoring enough goals.
I'm not scoring enough goals, mate. But you just knew what kind of game it was. Honestly, when the keeper obviously making the saves or right at him, what have you, but you just knew. You kind of knew what day you were in for as soon as the game kicked off. Really, you could tell it was going to be one of these games where you're letting it play in Aberdeen's hands. We didn't play our game. I feel like we didn't. I don't think we played the way we usually play it at all, mate. I really don't. Obviously, we created chances. What Tom Lawrence, he was doing ever so well. But he was one that we were hoping would kick on. Obviously, after the international break, so I done well. Cantwell again. I'm just. I'm no. I'm still not seeing it really. To be fair, and Seema obviously wasn't his best game, but aye, mate, we've had tons of chances. I know excuse on that front, but just wasn't good enough, obviously, going forward. And as you say, it's another area for me in January where we need to be looking at potentially bringing people in.
Nah, I mean it's if you look at the games we've obviously played under Clement, we've got a reaction out of this team. A lot of players have kind of stepped up and we're playing with a lot more intensity, but we're getting results. But it's, as soon as that performance sort of slips back in, you're always going to get criticised because we've seen it far too often. In the first half, specifically, I mean, the Miovski goal is embarrassing. Actually, it's one of the worst goals that we continue to keep conceding. I mean, the Kyogo one at Ibrox, it's literally a header on and the guy's through 1-on-1 with the goalie. Like, what's our setup there? What are we doing? I thought the two centre halves had an absolute nightmare in the first opening sort of half an hour. Got it under control after that, but I mean, that one was shocking. I mean, the one in the first 4 minutes, same thing, just straight through 1-on-1 with the goalie. And something I seen on Twitter this morning as well. I mean, that back four that started that game is the same back four that started when we won the league at Aberdeen in the opening game of the season. I mean, we can all say Balogun's come in, he's done a job, Goldson, Taverny, whatever. But it's the fact that that's still the reality we're in is a joke. It's really, really embarrassing. I mean, that must be the oldest defence in Europe when you really look at it on paper.
You might be. I tell you what, though, Balogun should have had two goals in this game. Obviously, with the head on the first and then the head on the second half. But no, it is, mate, and it's change that needs to happen here. Do you know what I mean? I don't want this manager to get screwed over by the recruitment. We have to get the recruitment spot on. And honestly, January, I think it's going to be a big window for us. Obviously, summer will be a massive window, but I think January is going to be a big window in terms of bringing in a left back. I'm looking at another centre half. I mean, I feel for Suter. What is Suter not getting game time for? Just put the guy on. Do you know what I mean? I thought he's been decent enough. All right, maybe a couple of errors, but Connor Goldson's the same. He's always got an error in his game. So put Suter on. Obviously, we know Davies probably play Thursday.
Well, that's something else I've seen as well. Goldson's suspended for the game on Thursday, so it's going to be Suter and Davies, I would imagine.
Aye, we're in for a long night again. Then, no, I've just honestly, there's areas of the park where I'm looking at, and I'm thinking you're looking at 4 or 5 signings in January for me, because I mean this was a massive game, and we should have gone out and put the points on the board. Obviously, we know Aberdeen. This is the only game they're really ever going to turn up for, but I mean the refereeing and all. That's something I would bring into it as well. I thought some of the decisions the referee was making and all. Dear me,
It's the same every single time we play a game of football. Like whether it's a touch on a player or anything, it's always a foul. As soon as there's contact, it's a foul. It's pish to watch. It breaks up the game. It was the same at Livingston when we talked about it, obviously beforehand, before the international break. The game was just broken up and too many stoppages. It just never let the game sort of flow. But I think us as a team, why are we going there and getting sucked into Aberdeen's ways? Why are we playing down to that? We should be going there with our game plan. We should be winning the game. Aberdeen are pish. Aberdeen have beat us at Ibrox, played well, and then obviously got a point off his yesterday. If they didn't get any of the points, they'd be bottom of the league. That shows you the state Aberdeen Football Club are in when it comes to playing us. And I don't know why we succumb to what the pressures are when we go up there. I mean, we're a better football team than them, and it's just it pisses me off because the past few games we've been up there has just been. I mean, the one, I think it was one each. Hadji scored before he obviously had that injury. Ryan Kent gets sent off. I mean, another game where we really didn't turn up. Last season, we were obviously really lucky in the last minute to obviously get the victory through Arfield, but large parts of that game really poor as well. So it's been a monkey for us Aberdeen going up there, and we've obviously not been able to get our offer back this game. But as you mentioned Cantwell as well, I mean, he's just not going to be a right winger. That's the thing I keep looking at. Like we're trying to shoehorn him into the team. McCausland's there, Matondo's there.
Well,
If you need to pick between Lawrence and Cantwell for now, I would have to think.
well, that's what I'm saying. I'm I'm watching other teams around Europe. I'm watching all the big teams. I'm watching Barcelona. I watch DC. I watch DC Milan bring on a 15-year-old. I'm watching all these teams play young players. Going to just play McCausland. Just put the boy on, because when he comes on, you seen him come on. He looked like he was going to affect the game straight away. When he gets the ball, he's driving into the box. He's looking to do something. I'm really wanting to see this guy kick on and play for us now. Obviously, with a new deal coming through as well. So I'll just be starting him. Obviously, Cantwell, we like him through the middle. So it's difficult in that regards. But I just don't think his performances have been good enough at all, man. Always, as I say, always getting dragged into the silly side of the game at times. And anytime we see a real bit of quality, we think yourself, right, come on, kick on here. And then, as I say, Livingston gets involved in a silly side of it. So I know it's frustrating with Cantwell. I'm hoping he can kick on, obviously, but I mean, just play McCausland. Just play him. I want to see him and Matondo play now. I want to see
Nah,
some energy. I want to see some lads cooking, Jack, as you would say.
nah, because I mean, like, it's not working for Cantwell on the right hand side. I mean, Sparta Prague at home was the only game that he really sort of played well. He got his goal, and I thought he'd done well that day, but he struggles out there. He's got no pace, and as you say, the players they're just going to hit him. Aberdeen defenders will just hit him hard, and obviously dived yesterday as well. You just don't want to see shit like that happen.
That's what I'm on about. Why are you doing that? Why are you getting involved? Why are you trying to do something like that? It's just that it's kind of stuff that annoys me. It really frustrates me because he's a quality player. Quality player, it's all there. We can see it, and it's just the silly side that I just don't. I'm not on board with, man.
It's been the same kind of story this season so far in it. We've not really had a set position for Cantwell to play. I mean, Lammers has been in there a lot. Lawrence obviously coming in and starting there as well. I actually think Lawrence would maybe be a bit better out wide than Cantwell in the middle, even if you wanted to start with that kind of option. But I feel like Matondo's back now. You've obviously got Seaman there. McCausland is going to be hungry to get games with the new contract and stuff like that as well. So, aye, that has to be the way we go forward.
But that's what I'm saying. I want to see more in McCausland for me. As I say, I'm watching all these teams around Europe, and they're playing their young players. They're giving them the chance to develop on the actual part. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to have a case where he comes on, he's a sub and whatever, and then he gets sent out on no loan, or we sell him to a big Premier League team for a big fee. I want to see the boy play. I want to see him come on and play. I'd like to see Rice come on and get some minutes as well. But I mean, I wasn't really impressed with a lot of the team yesterday. I wasn't really impressed with Lundstrom or Suentes. I wasn't at all. I thought Lawrence was decent, but I mean, yet again, the best player for us was the goalkeeper.
Yeah, I know. That's where you look at. I know you can't really pick a player out that has impacted the game really at all. I think Cifuentes is getting a bit of harsh criticism because I feel like he never loses the ball. I think maybe you would want for Cifuentes a bit more passion to drive forward rather than take the safe option. That's what I kind of look at with him. But I thought he had a decent enough game, especially coming in for kind of the cold, if you say so. Lundstrom, the midfield, it was whatever yesterday. I don't think Cifuentes had too bad a game right enough.
I'll ask you this right now. Ryan Jack, he's done. He's done. I would not. I'm not renewing Ryan Jack at all. I'm letting him go to wherever he wants to go in the league. I'm no.
The Ryan Jack replacement is there for us, and it's Connor Barron for Aberdeen on a free contract. it's there. He's 21 years old, and Ryan Jack's 32 or something now. By the start of that season, so that is where we have to improve. We have to phase out Ryan Jack. He's been brilliant servant for the club, no doubt about that. Injury plagued. If he wants to actually play football for another club, I don't see us extending his contract by this season anyway. He'll need to pick between international football and club football because that's what's hindering him. Every time he comes back here, he's got a period where he's out and he's injured. But I think the start of that has to be getting a young guy in, a homegrown guy. Connor Barron fits the profile we're looking for in terms of Ryan Jack replacement, and we move on there and try and develop him. So I think that's what we've not done. Looking at the back line as well, we've never done that. We've just been happy with aging players and players that aren't contributing enough, and always kind of shite bags, as you see on the left-hand side with Borna Barisic. But looking at the second half, I mean, we came out, we actually put on a bit of pressure. It just wasn't happening for us. We couldn't get the ball in the net. 2 times we hit the bar. I mean, there was a couple other chances that sort of fizzed. in the box and stuff, but nothing sort of clear cut apart from they two. And then obviously we get the penalty, and that's going to be the talking point. As soon as the guy went in the monitor and we get the penalty, I'm like, right, this is just going to be what's going to be talked about all day. Not as if Celtic didn't get 2 penalties the day before, one of them being for the exact same thing, a shirt pull in the box. I mean, it's a penalty, it is, but it's saved as a point, to be honest. I mean, I didn't think we were going to get anything out of that game.
I didn't think we were getting anything at all, really. It's a penalty, 100%. Didn't like the fact that obviously their manager after the game putting a dangerous narrative out there. But as you say, Celtic get penalties and all. Do you know what I mean? So it was saved as a game, mate. It wasn't good enough at all, as I said.
No.
It's just it was a real chance to put some pressure on, and yet again the players have fallen short. I'm not going to hang with the manager at all. Yeah, again it's on the players. They didn't turn up, didn't step up, and
I think that's a big learning curve for him as well, this game, because obviously it's been kind of plain sailing. We've won games, obviously, that point away at Sparta Prague. It was kind of, we dug deep and defended well, but I mean, this is his first kind of experience, a result that's not accepted at Rangers. So it'll be interesting to see how he kind of takes that and how we kind of move forward going into the game on Thursday.
Absolutely.
But going into that game on Thursday, obviously we played Aris Limassol before. This was one of the most embarrassing performances I think we've ever put out in Europe, to be honest with you. It was shocking. I mean, we were 2-0 down at one point. Seam obviously got a header, 2-1 it ended up. And we went over there managerless with Stephen Davis and basically half a squad and got absolutely picked apart by a team that couldn't even fill 200 seats in a stadium. So it was poor. But this is a huge opportunity now. We obviously the result against Sparta Prague to really just put Europe to bed now. Win this game and we're in a really good, comfortable position to go through and secure European football after Christmas. It's what we want. It's where we want to be playing. So I think we should have enough here to, and the reaction for Sunday should be telling, and we should have enough here to go and beat Aris Limassol at home. The team I want to see play this game. Scott Wright is still on there because McCausland isn't there, but Butland, Tavernier will probably obviously still play. Suter, Davies, as I say, Goldson is suspended for this game. I think he's had 3 yellow cards in the past 4 Europa League games, so he missed this one. I can't watch Borna Barisic play, as we said at the top of the episode. Just play Sterling. I mean, the stuff that Clermont's came out with before saying, look, if players aren't performing, I don't care who you are, like, I'll use you, young or whatever. Just, I cannot watch that guy play anymore. He's an absolute shite bag. Every time he goes forward, he's down, lying injured, and just I've said enough about Borna Barisic to start with anyway. The 2 midfielders, I think, will stay the same. We don't really have too much options in there, to be honest with you. Obviously, Ryan Jack is out, as we know it. Nico Raskin, I would expect to be kind of missing this game as well. So I think it'll be as you were in there. And then Scott Wright is actually Ross McCausland, Ravi Matondo on the left, Tom Lawrence through the middle, and Danilo starting up front. I think Sima's done really well. I think he's played a lot of football, but I think maybe a bit of change in that position will be good for us. Have the 2 of them on the right and left. I think they impacted the game well yesterday. If Matondo has an assist and Lammers has a winning goal if he's not shite. So it's where it boils down to. But I think that team gives us a lot of width. Lawrence in the middle kind of picking the passes, and I kind of like the look of that.
No, I like the look at that, but I just know for a fact Barisic is playing. I just know it. I'm used to it, Jack. I'm used to calling this guy out, and then when he's no good, you know what I mean, he ends up playing. We have no options in the middle of the park, as we're being honest here. There's no real option there. So obviously they two will probably play. But I agree with that, mate. I want to see McCausland definitely play. And I want to see Matondo come back in, and I'm hopeful they can get 3 or 4 here. This should be a game where we turn up and just blow this team out of the water, and really secure European football after Christmas. Maybe if we play well enough, hopefully we can maybe make some rotational and maybe get Scott Wright on, maybe get the boy on to lace it up. But I know I'm hoping that we can obviously turn up here and get 3 or 4.
Definitely going into the game and Sunday anyway, it would be nice to obviously rest a few. Especially players that haven't really played a lot of minutes, like Matondo and Lawrence and stuff like that, to give them obviously maybe 60 minutes, get the game done, and obviously make the changes would be nice. But we'll see how it goes. It's going to be, I think it'll be a difficult game. Aris Limassol will probably defend really well, and they've obviously got that threat in the counter, which we saw over there. But we should have enough. If we're not beating Aris Limassol at home, we don't deserve to be going through in Europe, as far as I'm concerned. So we need to put that result over there right at Ibrox and get ourselves kind of confirmed for the next round of Europa League. So, aye, it'll be an interesting game on Thursday, but we need to get that result at Pittodrie kind of off our back, and hopefully an Ibrox crowd will march us on to victory there. And we need more for the players, definitely. It has to be a kind of one and done performance, and we need to move on in Clement's ways.
Definitely, but as I say, massive missed opportunity. Really a real chance to put some pressure on there, and it's what it is, man.
Aye, that's what it is, and we move on to Thursday. So we'll be back with another episode next week. Hopefully a bit more positive, talking about a couple of victories. But until then, we'll see you.